guys, we have news. Let's go to more news from the Golden State Warriors, but before that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. The Warriors are in a terrible run of form, having lost 4 games in a row, and coach Steve Kerr is planning changes to the squad. Player Moses Moody appeared with star potential, but it seems that coach Steve Kerr does not trust the player, and for this reason he should be made available at the trade deadline. 2 teams expressed interest in signing Moses Moody, which were the Chicago Bulls and the Los Angeles Lakers. Moses Moody will be traded at the trade deadline. Golden State Warriors guard Moses Moody is a name to monitor on the trade market ahead of the 2025 NBA trade deadline on February 6, according to NBA insider Michael Scotto. Moody's role within the Warriors has remained largely unchanged since he was selected in the first round by Golden State in 2021, leading executives to believe he could be available on the trade market. Moody could be part of a package in a bigger deal, and Steve Kerr still doesn't play him 20 minutes a game, an NBA executive told Hoops Hype, per Scotto. Moody and the Warriors agreed to a 3-year, $37.5 million rookie extension prior to the season. The 22-year-old is averaging 15.9 minutes per game this season, contributing 7.7 points, 2.0 rebounds, and is shooting 38.8% from beyond the arc. Following the Warriors' 128-120 loss to the Brooklyn Nets on November 25, in which Moody played 16 minutes and scored 15 points, he commented on his lack of control regarding his playing time. "That's not a luxury I've had through my career, so I've kind of had to figure out how to play, whatever happens, whatever the opportunity is," Moody told reporters. "I kind of just deal with whatever it is. I don't necessarily look for outside things as in playing time, rotation, or whatever it is. When I get the opportunity, I take the shots that I get. I take the driving lanes that I get and just play." In addition to Moody, Jonathan Kuminga, DeAnthony Melton and Gary Payton II are also potential players to out on the trade market. Kuminga garnered significant trade interest before the season as he pursued a max extension contract with the Warriors, who were reportedly aiming for a deal in the range of $30 million annually, per Scotto. Payton II is approaching the end of his contract with the Warriors and could bring valuable veteran presence as part of a trade package. Meanwhile, Melton, whose contract is also expiring, may serve as a trade asset despite being sidelined for the rest of the season with a torn ACL, per Scotto. For players who could face the axe with Warriors expected to address big issues, Steve Kerr can't keep doing this. On the back of a 4th straight loss on Saturday at the hands of the Phoenix Suns, it's becoming apparent that Steve Kerr's controversially deep rotation can't continue to the same extent. Kerr used 13 players in the first half against the Suns as the Warriors were helpless to stop a barrage of threes from the hosts. Phoenix led 66-49 at the main break, and while a shortened rotation were more competitive in the second half, the damage had already been done as Golden State fell 113-105. Steve Kerr will have to shorten the Warriors' rotation. Running a 12-man rotation already seemed like an unsustainable option earlier in the season, so going to 13 is surely going to be an idea that's shelved rather quickly. There's an argument to be made that Kerr should go to 9 or 10, with a number of players in the firing line to be axed from the rotation. Based on recent form, deteriorating role/minutes and a look to the future, let's have a look at 4 players whose spot in the rotation is in jeopardy. Moses Moody. It's getting rather tiresome that Moses Moody is still involved in these type of conversations, particularly when he just signed a 3-year, $39 million extension just prior to the season. It's the reality of the situation for the 22-year-old though, having been benched in the second half and playing less than 3 total minutes on Saturday. Moody has played more than 20 minutes just twice this season. After scoring at least 12 points in 3 of the first 4 games, he's since scored a dozen or more in just 2 of the next 15. It's ironic that you could actually make a fair argument for Moody to be starting, but the reduction in role and minutes suggests he could equally find himself completely out of the rotation. Gary Payton I. Gary Payton II has appeared in all 19 games for the Warriors so far this season, which in itself is fantastic after 2 injury-riddled years. He's averaging just 12.1 minutes and is shooting a paltry 17.6% from 3, with the lack of spacing making it incredibly difficult to play him more given the roster consists of a number of other non-shooters. Perhaps it's time for Payton just to be a situational player, throw him out there if an opposing guard gets off the leash and can't be contained, but otherwise Kerr needs to find an alternative who can provide a little more offense. Lindy Waters 3. The Lindy Waters 3 minutes were excellent in the first 5 games of the season, yet they've progressively gotten worse since then. The 27-year-old found himself in a starting role after DeAnthony Melton's injury, but was pushed back to the bench on Saturday in favor of Brandon Podziemski. Over the last 15 games, Golden State are -21 in Waters' 18 minutes on the floor. While that doesn't sound horrific, it's the 4th worst on the team and quite surprising given many of his minutes have come in the starting lineup alongside Stephen Curry, Draymond Green and Andrew Wiggins, who have led the team in plus-minus across the same period. Known as an elite three-point shooter, Waters has shot just 31.1% from deep over those 15 games. Pat Spencer. Pat Spencer impressed in nearly 15 minutes on Wednesday against the Oklahoma City Thunder, earning himself another opportunity as the backup point guard. His 8 minutes in Phoenix were less impressive and probably should be his last in the rotation so long as Curry and Podziemski are available. The two-way contracted guard is solid but doesn't necessarily bring the upside that the Warriors should be striving for given they've got so many rotation options. Warriors rookie is quietly making a huge impression amid point guard debate. Another pair of strong performances from the two-way guard. There hasn't been too many positives for the Golden State Warriors across their current 4-game losing streak, but the ongoing form of Reese Beekman in their G League program should certainly deliver some optimism. The Santa Cruz Warriors recorded back-to-back victories over the weekend, taking care of the Salt Lake City Stars in a 115-108 win on Friday before an 89-76 defeat of the South Bay Lakers 24 hours later. Beekman has continued his impressive form with Santa Cruz, leading the back-to-back wins thanks to a pair of strong performances. The rookie guard stuffed the box score on Friday against the Stars, recording 25 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and a massive 5 steals in the 7-point victory. The 23-year-old shot an efficient 11 of 17 from the floor and 2 of 5 from three-point range, with Golden State forward Gue Santos joining Beekman in the starting lineup and recording 16 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. Beekman was also active in the low-scoring matchup with the Lakers, flirting with a triple-double in a 16-point, 7-rebound, 10-assist performance. Known for his defense across a 4-year college career, Beekman added another 5 steals and 3 blocks as the Warriors kept the Lakers to 38.6% from the floor in the 13-point win. Beekman is now averaging 18.3 points on 54.5% shooting from the floor, while also adding 5.8 rebounds, 7.3 assists, and 3.0 steals per game. On a two-way contract with Golden State, the 6 feet 3 inches guard is making quite the impression amid an interesting point guard situation with the main squad. Fellow two-way contracted guard Pat Spencer has played legitimate rotation minutes over the last 2 games. The first came as Stephen Curry sat out Wednesday's loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder, before also seeing minutes in the backup point guard spot on Saturday thanks to Brandon Podziemski's ascension to the starting lineup. Spencer's rotation minutes should give Beekman hope that with a few more strong performances in the G League, he too could see an opportunity if injury arises. Golden State lacked depth at the point guard spot, having chosen not to replace Chris Paul with another veteran option during the offseason. The news is a little disappointing for rookie center Quinton Post, who's missed time recently due to injury. The 24-year-old is yet to make his NBA debut and has appeared in 5 G League games, with Post currently averaging 18.6 points, 10.0 rebounds and 2.0 assists in 27 minutes per game.